On today's episode of Simply Cooking by MmmChef and Friends, I am joined by one of my favorite culinary school classmates, my longtime friend, Chef Tommy. Do you want to see what his specialty is? Stay tuned to find out. I am here with Tommy, and we are about to cook up a feast. We have fresh scones that he's going to be making, and I have some fresh tomatoes that I have peeled and pre-blanched to make a roasted red pepper and tomato soup to go so well with his scones. Tommy is one of my oldest culinary friends. We have known each other for almost 20 years. We went to Algonquin College Culinary together, and I used to actually pick him up to drive him to school on some of the night classes that we did together. We stayed friends all this time. After Algonquin College, you went to...
Afterwards, I went to George Brown in Toronto for baking and pastry arts. So
that's why we're doing scones today. He definitely has stayed within like the food industry all these years, just like me. And I've had the awesome opportunity of cooking with him before, like at your mom's place. And for your sisters and stuff like that. But I thought having Tommy on today would be so fun because we can have a great time, and also he can tell us about all the cool places that he works at and show us his favorite things. So while he's working on scones, I'm going to chop an onion, get it sauteing here in my Dutch oven with some fresh garlic. I'll add in my tomatoes. I'll add in some roasted red peppers. I'll let that simmer while he's working on that. So let me get to that and you get to that.
All right.
All right, so what do you got going on there?
All right, so basically I've already scaled out the flour for the scones, so it's
Okay.
340 grams of flour. I've got my 3 cheeses that I'm going to be adding to these scones today.
What kind of cheeses did you bring?
So I just brought cheddar, I got mozzarella, and I got Swiss today.
Oh, yummy.
But I mean, you can add essentially any cheese that you want.
3, 4, 5 cheeses?
3, 4,
Even one if
5.
you only have one in the fridge,
Even
right?
one works. I've done that before just with cheddar. So, and yeah, you can basically choose any cheese you want. So like if you want to put blue cheese in it, you can do that. If you're adventurous, if you want to put Asiago, Havarti.
You'll do some like blue cheese and chop off some ham in there
Oh
or
yeah,
something
absolutely.
like that.
Or maybe put some
do like a full,
walnuts in with
a full
the blue
meal
cheese.
in a scone, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to grate the cheddar up now. I pre-grated the other ones. So.
Very nice. If you were using a cheese that wasn't grateable, like a feta or a goat or even the blue, you would probably want to crumble it.
Yep, crumble it, or even if you don't have a cheese grater, you can just sort of chop it up into little pieces. And
nice.
I've done that before too. So.
And why scones?
I mean, scones are just something that are, I just find them, you know, pretty simple to make, and they're such a crowd pleaser.
Absolutely.
I used to, after I graduated from George Brown, I was working at a cafe in Toronto. We used to do a savory and a sweet scone.
Oh, nice.
For every day of the week,
Okay.
and that's where I got this recipe. And I just I added a bunch of cheese to it, and it turned out
It's
great.
like the tried and tested, the one you go back to every time.
Absolutely,
When
yeah.
you're like if you're invited somewhere, or like you need to impress. This is definitely the one for you.
Yes,
Awesome.
or you know, family and friends will request this one specifically.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And when we were talking about what was going to go with the scones, I thought I would make a flavored butter because that will go really nicely with that. But you said you love to serve it with soup.
I do, yes, especially something like a tomato soup.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why this one's one of my favorites. It happens to be end of August here in Ottawa right now, so we've got a lot of abundant stuff happening from gardening and in our farmers markets and stuff. So tomatoes are really fresh and are ripening right now. I've got some beautiful fresh herbs from my own garden that we are going to add in and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, this time of year is perfect for fresh soups from the garden. You just like take whatever vegetables you've got. You can even like saute them or roast them on a pan, blend it up, which we're going to do, and make a great soup, right?
Yeah, looks good.
So I have my butter's nice and soft here, and I thought I would make this like delicious flavored butter. So while he's working on putting his batter together, I'm going to zest some lemon. I've got some hot chili flakes here. I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar for some sweetness, that sweet and spicy and sour flavor, and some fresh herbs. Take it away.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be a good accompaniment to the scones. I'm just gonna come over here and grab the butter from the fridge.
Oh, absolutely, let me get it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Where did we put it?
It's on a napkin somewhere in here.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. And yeah, for this recipe, I actually grate my butter.
What a great trick.
Yeah, and it just sort of makes sure that it's all uniform and can mix well with all the cheese. And one of the most important things with scones is to get everything as uniform as possible.
And that your butter is nice and cold, right?
Nice and cold, or else it will just sort of, smear everywhere and it won't bake as properly.
Oh, I guess, 'cause, yeah, sometimes you see people, they like cut their butter up into little tiny cubes.
Yep.
Or you can use one of those like pastry cutters and it has like teeth on it and you like kind of chop it. But this cheese grater thing, like, look how nice and consistent, like, you're probably gonna get little balls of butter all throughout your flour in the easiest way than any other way, right?
Absolutely.
Where did you learn that trick?
That was actually at the cafe that I worked at.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah. And,
honestly, like, we can go to culinary school and we can learn techniques.
Yep.
And how to cut julienne and how to do
yeah.
all the things. But don't you agree that throughout the years, most of the most valuable things that you've learned have been working?
Just working, yeah, and just getting experience that way, Like, it's really good to go to culinary school, but, once you're actually in the thick of things, I work in a kitchen right now, and you do learn a lot in every kitchen that you work in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And some of the stuff we learn in culinary school is very technical.
Yeah.
And it works really wonderfully, like in a hotel restaurant situation or like on a cruise ship or, really high class, high end restaurants and stuff like that. But when you, for me, become a personal chef, or you work for a catering company, he also helps at a stand at the farmer's market on Wednesday nights at the Parkdale Night Market for one of the companies he works for. And really, like, the real life stuff is what you use on a regular basis. So like in culinary school, we learned that when you're using garlic, you have to take the center of the garlic out. Remember that? And like even, in traditional French cuisine, they remove the inside of the garlic. And, that matters if you're being very particular about, the recipe that you're doing or what have you. But at the end of the day, like, you don't really need to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of kitchens don't even really have like time to do all these
extra
fancy
things.
little techniques.
Yeah.
But it depends on where you're working. We do a lot of intricate stuff in the kitchen that
Exactly.
I work in, but
My onions are getting a little bit too caramelized, but that's okay because flavor, right?
yeah.
So I blanched these tomatoes. What I did was earlier I had a pot of boiling water and I just poked a hole at the end of the tomato and blanched them and then removed them from the hot water right away. And the skin basically just slid off for me.
Okay.
And then I don't have to struggle with the peel.
Yeah.
Some people like to take the seeds out of the tomato. Some people have a hard time digesting the skin and the seeds. But I find like when I'm blending it, it doesn't really matter because the blender kind of gets like blends them up anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Now,
go ahead.
Sorry. It's important to take the peel off though, right?
Yeah, I think it's important to take the peel off. Because like it doesn't blend because it's so thin. So you'll still end up with like little pieces of skin in the soup.
Of course, yeah.
If we had a high powered blender like a Vitamix or something like that, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, interesting.
But this blender isn't as strong or as fast, so it wouldn't necessarily like obliterate it, or you know what I mean? Sometimes I will have homemade roasted red peppers where we take 4 or 5 red peppers, coat them in olive oil, roast them in the oven, or sear them on a grill pan or in the on the barbecue. But I didn't have time for that today, so I just bought this delicious jar of roasted red peppers. It's just roasted red peppers and water with salt, of course. I actually want the liquid. You could add broth. Like if you didn't have the roasted red peppers in liquid and you were just using like fresh red peppers. You could add some chicken broth or some vegetable broth here, but I don't think we need it because
so
I
you're
feel
not
like
adding broth to
I'm
that
not going to
soup.
add any broth to it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, what do you have going on? Let me move this out of the way.
Oh, thank you very much. So I've just added the butter to the flour. In fact, I probably should have put more of the dry ingredients in first before I put the butter.
I see, but that's okay.
Yep, so I have just 2 tablespoons of baking powder here.
Yep.
I've got some sugar here.
Nice.
And some salt, of course.
Yeah.
And you said you had some pepper around?
Oh, yeah, let me grab some pepper.
Okay, awesome.
This one's salt, this one's pepper.
Great,
Here,
just,
go. I'll just do it for you. Yeah, you say when. You say when.
I feel like I'm at an Italian restaurant here.
Basically.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
That's perfect.
I'm going to put some in my soup because who doesn't like fresh pepper in their roasted red pepper soup?
Yeah, great. And what herbs do we have over here?
I've got some fresh rosemary.
Okay.
I've got some fresh basil, some fresh chives, and some green onion. What do you want?
You know what? Can we do a trio of the herbs?
Oh, yeah.
The rosemary, the basil, and the chives?
Shall I chop it fine for you?
Please.
Yeah? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
That'll add some nice flavor to the scones.
Now, if you, just because I always talk about swaps, so if you have someone who's dairy-free, could you use coconut oil or shortening?
Yeah, no, I'm sure you could.
Or like a dairy-free margarine in there?
I'm absolutely sure you could do that, you know,
Yeah.
just make sure the margarine's cold, and then you could probably use, I'm going to be putting milk in this after, but you could essentially use any type of milk you want.
Coconut milk, soy milk, whatever.
Yeah.
And then if you were gluten-free, we are living in a time right now, like when I first started cooking years ago, they didn't really have good quality gluten-free swaps, but now you can get really great like 1-for-1 gluten-free flour.
Okay, yep.
So you could literally just use your grocery store's 1-for-1 gluten-free flour in replace of this. I mean, usually I don't post recipes, so most of my shows don't have recipes. I have a few online, but this will be a recipe that we will be posting on Instagram. So if you guys want to know how to make Tommy's scones, we'll post the recipe up there. But you guys will have to convert because Tommy and I use weighted measure. So.
Yes.
I just chopped the herbs and put them in my butter because I wasn't paying attention. So now I'm going to chop more, and we're going to put them in your scones. Sorry, everybody. That's what happens sometimes when you're on TV and it's kind of like live and you're just kind of going. You forget what you're doing.
Well, yeah, especially when you're talking, you know, and
multitasking, you know.
Happens at work too, you know. We gotta.
Have you ever forgotten something in a recipe? Like I have a few times, like I'm making a muffin batter and I'm all ready to go, and then I'm mixing it and I'm putting it in the muffin liner, and then I'm like, oh, there's no eggs in here.
Yeah, you know
and then
what,
I have to like pour it all back out into the bowl and add eggs.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you know what? At this same bakery I was working in Toronto, I forgot to put eggs in our chocolate chip banana loaf.
Okay.
So I made 4 big ones, and you know there wasn't.
Baked it.
I baked it. It was all baked, and there was not much we could do. So we just made.
Did
bread.
they fall because like it didn't rise as much?
Yeah,
or?
it didn't. It didn't like rise to the proper. You can still eat it, but
Yeah,
anyway,
for sure.
we ended up making bread pudding out of it.
Oh, okay. Because like if you're vegan and you don't eat eggs or you're egg-free, you can certainly use like egg replacer.
Oh,
you can buy like egg replacer. You can make egg replacer with like flax seeds or chia seeds and water.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or like the liquid from the can of chickpeas.
Chickpeas, yeah.
Like
Aquafaba.
aquafaba, exactly.
Aquafaba.
Like that acts well as egg, but if you don't put any binder in.
Yeah, then
like
it just sort of, it sort of creates a gummy kind of texture too. You know, like eggs really kind of give things volume. So, all right, I'm gonna add all the cheeses now.
Love it.
And just give them sort of, just sort of mix them in.
I see, because you're looking to get like flour around all the pieces of cheese so that when you add your cream, it kind of just holds together. And it's because like, as you see, like Tommy's not mixing like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not like over mixing the dough and turning it into an emulsified thing. You want all the pieces to be like visible inside.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one thing that's really important about scones is that you don't want to mix them a lot. Like you just want to mix them a bit until everything's incorporated.
Right.
You don't want to give them, otherwise they won't
like
be
a
as
pizza
fluffy.
dough where you're like kneading.
Exactly. You don't want gluten development in this.
Okay.
You want as little as possible as opposed to pizza dough, which
And you know what's really interesting that you say that you want you don't want gluten development. That's probably why over the years when I've tried a gluten-free scone, it's one of those items you can't really tell.
Okay, yeah.
Like scones really are one of those items that when you make it gluten-free, even the non-gluten-free people sometimes can't really tell.
Yeah, no, that
because
makes
it's not a
absolute
glutinous
sense,
item,
yeah.
right? Whereas like pasta, you can tell.
Absolutely, yeah. No, for
yeah.
something like a scone, it's definitely probably the same for a muffin too. Like muffins, you don't want to overmix.
Yes, muffins you don't want to overmix because then they get like goopy, and then when you bake them, they become hard almost.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm actually going to transfer this into this bowl. It's a little bit bigger, and I'm going to have to add the milk.
I've got my beautiful herb flavored butter. I can see the lemon zest, all my fresh herbs, and the chili flakes just to give it that little bit of spice. We'll put that over to the side for now.
All right, so I'm now going to do the most intense part, which is adding the milk.
Okay.
And attempting not to mix it too much.
Let me clear some stuff for you.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I'm just going to take that cut back.
Oh yeah, he needs to measure.
All right, and I'm actually going to use, for the mixing, I'm going to use the bottom of the spoon.
Oh, I love this trick.
Just to make sure that we're not mixing it too much.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. So like instead of folding it, like, you know, like in a KitchenAid mixer with like the attachment or stuff, it's like you're just
incorporating it, making sure everything comes together. So I'm going to put it all at once.
And that's a higher fat milk, eh?
Yep. So I like to use basically any milk I'm using for baking. I like to use whole milk.
Okay.
I mean, it's not necessary. You can use 2%. But it just gives it a richer flavor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like the higher fat content in the milk definitely gives it like a richer flavor, and probably also helps with the flakiness even, right? Because like it's the butter and the fat that is allowing the scones to flake, and I think the fat in the cream probably does that too.
Oh
wow,
yeah.
Look how fast that came together. It was almost like he wasn't really even mixing at all. Like it just kind of assembled itself.
And at this point, I'm just going to use my hands.
Yep.
So here we go.
So I just realized my immersion blender is not plugged in, so excuse me.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Oh yeah,
all right.
He hardly even needs it at all. He just kind of forms it with his fingers so that it stays together.
Yeah, and then you want it to look a bit messy. Like you don't want it to be a nice smooth ball. You want it to be sort of, just as this looks right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of.
Love it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and what I'm gonna do.
So we have a little oven here set. We've set it at 350, right? That's what we want for the scones?
375.
375,
yeah.
Okay, let me fix that. Okay, so setting at 375. He's gonna form a couple of these before we go to the break. Get them on this pan so that you guys can see what that looks like. And I'm just gonna show everyone a quick zhuzh. We don't have much time left before the break, so. Okay. Tommy's gonna form some scones. Why don't you just form one for us?
Okay.
Just so that everyone can see, because we don't really have much time before the break.
Fair enough. So I'll just do this quickly. Basically what you're gonna do.
And then you cut it,
is
right?
Just turn it into like a big puck.
Yep.
And you're gonna cut it into 8 pieces.
Okay.
Just like this.
Yep. Oh, and then you're literally just baking the piece as you cut it.
Yes.
Yes. So cut a little triangle and then.
This. Here we go.
Awesome.
Yep. So this is them.
Right there on a piece of parchment paper so that it doesn't stick. In the oven at 375 for about how long?
So it's 20 minutes. You want to turn it around just after 10, just to be safe.
Halfway through. Perfect. So we're going to do that. I'm going to finish blending this soup, and we will see you guys after the break. All right, so my soup is delicious. I finished blending. I did something that I didn't show on camera before, but if you've seen my show before, I always love to put the Parmesan rind in my soup and sauces. So I save all the rinds of my hard cheeses, and I save them in a Ziploc bag in my fridge or freezer. And every time I'm making like a sauce or a soup, I throw that in there, and it kind of melts, and it adds so much nice umami flavor to the soup. Really, really nice. And then the scones that Tommy was forming earlier are in the oven. They have like a couple minutes left, but he pre-made these beautiful ones for us so that we wouldn't like burn ourselves when we try to eat them in front of you, and to show you what they look like. Just gorgeous. Yeah. And then the butter that I did, it's nice and ready. So tell me a little bit about all the different places you work and when they can come and see you there.
Yeah, so one of the places I've worked for about 4 years now is at a place called Sarah's Kitchen. So does catering in the Ottawa area.
These are some beautiful cookies from Sarah's Kitchen.
Yep, and then she also does markets too. So
Cool.
we have a market every Wednesday night at the Parkdale Market. So it's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, the Wednesday night market. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that'll be going until mid-October.
Awesome.
She does one in Almont as well. So it's every Saturday from 8:30 to 12:30.
Yep. Awesome.
And I'll be going till mid-October as well.
Really,
so,
really cool. So at the Parkdale Market on Wednesday nights,
Yep.
in Almont on Saturday mornings.
Saturday morning, Almont,
and then
yep.
the rest of the time, she does like catering, parties,
Yep,
takeout, pre-made meals.
Yep, she'll do catering. She's done weddings. She's done
awesome.
anniversary parties, just private events and stuff. So,
Awesome.
yep, here's her logo
Sarah's
here.
Kitchen. You guys definitely want to
Sarah's
check
Kitchen.
her out. Absolutely. And on Wednesday nights, they can come to the market and meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on Cash every Wednesday.
I love it. I love it. Okay, are we ready to try the soup?
Yeah, let's try the
Okay,
soup.
let's try the soup. I love to use a measuring cup when I'm serving things like soup or sauces. I find that like it's much easier to control, like we were saying, than a
Absolutely,
big ladle.
yeah.
Also can measure. So when I'm doing a dinner party and I want everyone to get 1 cup of soup, I don't have to guess because look, 1 cup of soup.
Love that idea.
Love it, love it. What else are we going to put on top of our soup? I have some delicious Parmigiano Reggiano. Little snowflakes there. You can also use this parm as one of the cheeses in your scones.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Give it that nice, like, nutty Italian flavor. Okay, and then what about I have some really pretty microgreens here. Would you like
I'll
some?
take some of those.
Some mustard microgreens.
Thank you.
And then how about we cut up some green onion? Whenever I'm serving a soup, it's nice to just, you know, have color contrast because, right, like we eat with our eyes,
Yep.
right?
Well, even this just looks beautiful with a little bit of garnish on top. You know?
Absolutely, and like even with your little scones there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Thank
check
you.
the timer on the oven. We've got 3 minutes for those.
All right.
Okay, so why don't we both grab one of your scones
Mm-hmm.
and we'll show the camera. Let's cut. Look at all those layers.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the layers all perfectly done. You didn't really mix it. The cheese is still intact. The butter's still intact. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I love about these scones is that with all the cheese and sort of the fats in the cheese and stuff, you'll get sort of a nice crust at the bottom. And
Oh, yeah,
I just
look at
love
that.
that. It gives a nice crunch to it.
Who
and it's
doesn't
just
like
delicious.
crispy cheese?
Ah, exactly.
Like, just so
Exactly.
good, so good. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of butter on one. I'm going to taste my scone with some butter. This might be spicy, so we'll see. The lemon in the butter cuts the fattiness of the cheese, excuse
Okay.
me, and like the butter in your scone. Like it's really, really nice.
I'll try some of that.
Yeah, for sure. Here, I'll bring this over to you.
Thank you.
Okay. And now some soup. Really, really good. We're gonna dip some of this in there. It's a little bit hotter than I wanted it to be. You can probably hear in my voice, and my eyes are starting to water, but
No, the butter's really nice with
that's how you can tell food is good, is, you know. Oh, yum. Fantastic. This is delicious. Okay, let's talk about a couple things in terms of scones. So when you were making the scones earlier and you were trying to make them savory,
Yeah.
you were grating the butter and then you added in the cheese.
Yes.
If we were going to make these into a sweet scone,
Yep.
and we weren't going to add cheese, what would you do at that point? You would need more butter.
So you don't need more butter, but one thing you do need for the sweet ones is you do put more sugar in it.
Of course, okay.
And then also, you know, you can put things like berries in it. Like we did a sweet scone, so we put berries in it.
Okay.
You can
Like
use
cinnamon.
fresh cinnamon, you know, nutmeg, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Dried currants, dried cranberries.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So
blueberries.
that's yeah. I mean, you can pretty much put anything in scones. You know.
So
like,
would the
they're such a
recipe
versatile-
basically be the same, but instead of grated cheese would be more sugar
Yeah.
and whatever other ingredient flavor you were using in there.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're using something like, say, fruit or frozen fruit, you want to add a little bit less milk too, because it'll add more liquids to the...
Just like when you're making a muffin, like if you're using raspberries or blueberries, you want the batter to be thicker because the fruit's going to kind of let out juice while it's baking, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
So you got to be aware of those things.
Be aware of those things. Oh, you could also. Well, I was just thinking, like, what if you made flavored butter? Put the butter back in the fridge.
Oh, yep. So you guys,
and then
I guess
you
you could
grating your flavored butter.
Yeah,
right
you could probably
your...
like do an infused butter or something, or like a chive butter, and even grate that right into it. So
you guys hear that beeping sound? You hear that?
Oh, yeah.
That is the sound of the scones that we
already.
just made on camera.
All right.
And with the magic of TV.
Ooh, those look nice.
At those.
Yeah, those got some color
They
on the
did get some
too,
really nice color.
Nice.
Oh, I can feel how sticky they are. I'm just probably going to burn my hands, but I'm going to look at that cheese pull.
Yeah.
Look at that cheese pull.
There you go. You can see one layer coming off right there.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. You can see the steam coming off there. I wanted Tommy to make us some in advance because, as you can see, these are way too hot for us to try.
Yep.
But wanted everyone to see like the finished product. So it held together. Like you literally just took that dough and like smushed it. We cut it into those 8 pieces, and like how beautiful. These also would freeze really well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can freeze these scones and just heat them up in the oven or the microwave afterwards.
Perfect.
And yep.
You can make them small and make like little mini scones.
Oh yeah, I've done mini ones too.
Like
I've done little
scones.
circles or little, you can do different things or use cookie cutters, make shapes. There's so much you can do with scones.
Well,
so.
honestly, Tommy, it's been such a pleasure cooking with you. I love spending time with you. You're one of my favorite people. Friends for life. They say that if you've been friends with someone for 7 years, that you are friends for life, and we've been friends for almost 20. So I guess we're stuck with each other until the end of time. I can't thank you enough for coming on my show and being open to being on the camera with me and showing me your recipes. And let's have one little last bite.
All right,
and cheers to friends. Cheers to history,
friends.
and cheers to delicious food. We'll see you next time on Simply Cooking by MmmChef.